What is up, YouTube? Or say Uber. This is Rucker with another deck profile from G10.
It's me, Zavani, the man with the plan. I'll leave you alone for time being.
Shut up. Yeah, no, don't come back, please. But anyway, we got another grapplers from G10 with extreme battlers getting their deck, getting their much needed fucking upgrade. And I gotta admit, I do love this stuff. Starting with your forerunner petite is GB1, kind of like on the rest of this unit. Choose one of your rear guards, stand it. And if it has a rush ability, increases power by this unit's power to the end of the turn, then you retire this unit. Outside the act ability, choose one of the other rear guards rested, and this unit gets 3 at the end of the turn. You can stack this to where you can end up resting your entire boy and get basically 15k, but you wouldn't really do that. The reason I actually like this starter, it gives me rush on a unit right before I'm actually going into my battle phase. But if people don't like him, you can still play the Extreme Battle Kabutron from set 6, or some people can still play Rumble, which is the Riot Warren clone from G1. Grade 3s, we have our original boy, Extreme Battler Victor. GB2, when you attack the vanguard, choose the rest, stand one of your rear guards, you gain 5k until the end of the turn. Then on strike, counterblast 1, choose the rest of the unit, stand it, it gets 5k.
Team Ubermich got money.
No.
Because they're not all gold, nigga?
No, exactly. I'm sorry about that. I failed.
I don't even have that piece.
I don't give a fuck. I failed on that behalf.
I can't afford those.
I had to.
Yeah, you can.
But he's still to me probably one of the best first generation strike breakers because what his deck does and how far he gets, he's still like a really relevant grade 3 to have around. And of course, our newest grade 3, Exxcessive Battler Victor. GB2, when his unit stands, you give 2k to everything in your front row. And yes, it does. Each time you do stat, you can keep giving your front row power. Then this on strike break skill. Once per turn, you soul blast 1. When your unit attacks the vanguard, you pay the cost you do, soul blast 1. You choose a rear guard with the rush ability, you stand all units in the same column as that. So while he trades off power, he gives you an entirely a new fresh column to attack again, which also enables rush if it hasn't been enabled already. Grade 2s, we'll start with our new bad boy on the block. Extreme Battler Sever Templar, also known as Sazonda 3.0. GB2 rush, when you stand if a Victor Vanguard, he gains 5k power. Reminds you of somebody.
I'll play that shit.
Yeah, it's like, you don't even play Conqueror. Get the fuck out of here. Reminds you of our original pretty much win condition being Sazonda. Only difference is, 1 is GB2 for understandable reasons. And 2, you have an additional skill. When you draw check with a grade 3 card. Choose one of your opponent's rear guards with power equal to less than this card, retire it. Of course, front row. Basically means everything your opponent's front row is gonna die because he's gonna get fucking big, you know, for no fucking reason. With your original Victor, he'll restand as 19. With your new Victor, that's a restanding, maybe 14, but they still have an additional boost depending on what you have in your back row. After that, we have Extreme Battler Arborel. Yeah, it's just the guy from G6, kind of like on Soul Blast 1. You learn Breath Clone, give a Victor Vanguard. He gains 2k power and ability when he attacks the Vanguard. Choose one of the other rear guards, stand it against 5k. You can swing. Keep in mind, when you initially swing at the Vanguard, it's a mandatory skill to take that off. So something always keep in the back of your thoughts when you prefer to out your attack pattern. Next up, we have my personal choice, Master Kung Fu. Pretty much it has rush being when it stands to effect with your cards, it gains an ability. When this unit gains rush, it gets counterblast 1, but you attack against the Vanguard, pay the cost of do, counterblast 1. Choose one of the other rear guards, you stand against 5k power. Which basically says, if you let me hit, I'm going to restand something else and give it a fuck ton more power. Exhibit pretty much the main thing you got to one step. Get out of here! Shut up! Fucking freeze, right? But yeah, this gives you kind of a pressure, kind of pressure column to it. If they let this hit, you're gonna be setting up and getting more attacks off in the turn, because why not? Last but not least, for my utility, I played 2 street bouncers. Mario Kart from BTO 5, I remember? Yeah, BTO 5. Rest this unit and choose another unit, same column as this, and rest both. Place on rear guard, and if I can draw a card. Nobles need to get to their combo pieces, so there's nothing wrong with playing a little more utility in your grade 2 lineup, but keep in mind that's also where most of your pressure's coming through, because your grade 2s do a lot for you. They do your additional resending outside of your vanguard, and then they also get you more free shit to work with. Grade 1s more or less do kind of stay the same for the most part. You're playing the G perfect guards. You can play Extreme Battler Headstrong if you want to, but I'll explain why in a little bit, why that is also actually a possibility now, should you choose to do it. For stride enablers, because it's a stride deck, you're playing 7th grade 3, so go for it. And now your code red threat level motherfucker, whatever you want to call him, Extreme Battle Malayaki. If you have a Vanguard victor in this name, all you can column is this get rush. When this unit stands from the effect of one of your cards, this to the turn the unit gets one of the attacks. Choose up to 2 units, each K 4K. I mean, this card was why Rush at the initial get-go wasn't as completely as people thought it was. Because each time you stand with that unit, this shit stacks. It fucking stacks. So that 4 goes to being +8, that +8 goes to be the +12, the 2 fucking units. See, it gets really ridiculous pretty fucking quick. And who doesn't love the play? It looks like fucking Heat Man for my Mega Man fans out there. Last but not least, 2 Furious Puncher, another new unit from GB10. Rush, instead of trying to fight one of your cards, you choose another upgrade unit, get 5K. Then he has the ability to retire him, choose one of your rear guards to stand. Stand him, you get something else trigger power, because who doesn't love getting more free power since you're playing Novas? You love having a fuck ton of power. Now, trigger lineup, this is where I actually kind of differ from some people, but I figure people that actually have played Victim have a general idea of it as well. I play 5 crits, 3 of the Extreme Break Fast in the Soul, draw a card plus 5K, and then 2 red lightnings.
So he can body the fucking planet.
I mean, I prefer the universe, but shit, that works too.
Look, man. You got goals.
But you generally, of course, people figure, well, you probably want to run more crits and get to finish them off quickly. Yes and no. Yes, if I hit the crits to whoop it, then yeah, that's great. But at the same time, like I said earlier in the video, Novas, they don't give Novas hand advantage. So you gotta figure out a better way to get to your utility without really hurting your aggressive plays, which is why I play 7 draws. I like the 7 draws because one of defensive triggers, so where you get some type of advantage when your opponent is swinging at you, and then 2, it's giving me more options to get into my combo pieces, while also still being able to keep a pretty consistent lineup, namely in my grade 2 aggression and grade 1 to an extent. And of course, 4 heals, because heals, G guards, why not? Then we go up to the G-Zone, starting with Air Element Shit Breeze. Yes, Shit Breeze. I will be calling him that until the day he dies. Your opponent decides to play the grade 2 game, and they don't call him there, turn counter last 2, digit card, stride him, laugh at them as you proceed to beat the fuck out of them with any of your no grapple skills. We go for Victoplasma. A lot of people kind of go, well, I don't really like Victoplasmas, but at the same time, I still love this card to death. Probably one of the still relatively relevant GBT01 G units. Well, 1, because he's still really good, and then 2, Novas don't really have a plethora of options either. But in any case, for those who forgot, Counterblast 2, choose a copy of it face down, face up. Number of face-up cards in the G-Zone is 2 or more. He loses triple drives, and then in the battle he attacks, start 2 cards, restand them. You can't get 50 in turn. I know some people generally have the idea of just Counterblast 2, flip a copy of him, then do it again for Counterblast 4 just to get his ability. I feel that's kind of a risky play. It's kind of a risky play, but it's also necessary to the point where if you feel like you have to do that, you're probably already in a really bad spot. Next up, we have our boss from GBT06, Meteor Kaiser Victor. Act, of course. Choose the persona flip. When he attacks, puts in the turn, he gets with this unit attacking the vanguard. We stand when he rear guard against 5k, and then GB3. When he attacks, you stand the rear guard, give it 5k free. So, considering your vanguard are going to restand you to 1 or 2 units, you're pretty much going to be sending the full field. But then, of course, under certain particular conditions, this thing can kill from your first stride because Novas have always had that type of tendency to where they can kill you by first or second stride because it's not like they have resource options to just go, I'm going to hunker down and just guard everything. There's never been that kind of clan, and it is at that point where they're never going to make them that way. Which I don't mind. I love beating the fuck out of you and just going, you're foolish. I still love Meteor Kaiser Tri-Brute for the matter of when your rear guard sends you one of your cards, Counterblast 1, give it 2k, then you pick off one, you can retire one of your rear guards, put cards to a less than it. So while you have several 10% in your front row, you can also take care of your back row at the same time. Picking off those pesky rear guards that your opponent may think you're not able to get to because you know you're playing Novas and it's in the back row. It's nothing for them to really do anything about it. And now we have New Boy, favorite champ Victor. Where do I start with this goddamn card? At the end of the battle, he attacks Counterblast Root, discard a card. Bad class if you do, choose up to the second number of units you have face up in your G zone, stand them. And if you stood 3 or more, choose 3 cards in your hand and discard them. If you discard 3 cards, restand this unit, it goes drive -2. Now, let's think for a second. Never once did I say this is once per turn. This is also why I prefer playing an additional set of draw trigger, just because if you're going for this, you're kind of declaring a final turn, because if you don't kill them on that turn, chances are you're not going to live to see a fall of the turn. Mainly because either your hand, you're not going to have a hand, or you'll probably at most have 3 or 4 cards, probably three cards in hand, and it'll just be like, well, I tried to kill you, or the opponent's probably going to die. Not to mention, with a field dealing with a severed temper, then a master kung fu, and then we'll go to Mayaki. We'll go to Mayaki the hell, even Mayaki and a Furious Puncher. They're hitting ridiculous numbers and still carrying over triggers. So in a way, they gave Victor its version of Infinite Hell for those that remember it from both Beast Deities and Blau. I personally love this card. You only really needed it one because if you're going to this more than once, you're really doing it wrong. And then we go into the G Guardians. We got one Dismal, Severed Temper, 0 side with your additional win condition, just as Sadana was. You want to keep them alive where you possibly can. One Screw, picture card, gain 10k shield. There's nothing wrong. I like Screw. It's probably one of the most generic and also one of my favorite G guards to have around, particularly because it's 10k power. You ditch a card, but it maybe no one's in a hurry. Hey, shut up! I'm explaining shit. Fight me. Fight me. In any case, I like Screw. Ditch a card, gain 10k shield. Why not? Then we have from Fighter's Collection, Righteous Superhuman Blue Prison. If you have more damage than your opponent, which you typically do because you're playing Novas, he gets 5k shields. Pretty simple to get off because you're playing Novas. You're gonna get hit in the face, but then you're gonna hit them back like 10 times harder than they hit you. Then last but not least, the new G Guard. Reminiscence to the old days where Novas still do have a fuck ton of counter charging in terms of resource management from the counterblast, because it's always been counterblasted. Middle cards in Junior. The Junior plays some Guardian Circle. If you don't have any face-up face-up cards in your damage zone, counter charge 2, get 5k shield. The unit is placed on. If you don't have any cards in your soul, you soul charge 2, get 5k. You do use a fair deal of soul, particularly from your new boss, and where the hell is the and from Aberrell. You don't really necessarily build up souls. Yes, you do have the break pass and the red. You do have the break pass and red lightning for those soul for the times when you do need soul. But 9 times out of 10, you probably at most have 2 or 3 cards and soul to do a couple of plays. So you'll be able to get that off. Then you can be a bit more reckless now with your counter blast, now that you have more afflictions in your deck. But it's still something to keep in mind for that you don't want to go too overboard with. Keeping it, something I actually do like about this, as in you can generally get to a really stupid high columns pretty fucking early. But it's just something to keep in mind of. You're playing Nova Grapplers. You either kill them or you're gonna die a horrible painful death.
Yes, senpai.
Shut up.
Senpai, I love you.
But yes, that's the deck profile for Victor. Like and subscribe to this team. We would mention when Sonic got somebody to go die in a fucking fire.
Oh man, if I can't kill Zavani, I'm like a roach.